The sound of a Lister diesel engine on a narrowboat at Hillingdon Narrowboats Association. They're a charity based in Harefield, providing affordable narrowboating for the community. I popped down to find out what goes on there and got chatting first of all to Dave, who's a project manager at the association, who apparently has been with the association for so long he's not quite sure how many years it is. We're chatting to Dave from the Hillingdon Narrowboats Association. Dave's going to tell us a bit about the history of the association, first of all.
Hi. Well, Hillingdon Narrowboats Association came into existence in the late 60s when Hillingdon Youth Service decided it would be a good idea to get a camping boat. And basically a camping boat is an old working boat where the hold has been converted into an undercloth canvas or under wooden camping area. They bought Pisces. She was very successful, so successful that they decided to buy two more boats, a motor and a butty. A butty is a boat without an engine and gets towed along by one with an engine. And working boats always had pairs of boats, one with, one without an engine. So they bought Gemini 1 and Gemini 2, and they ran them very successfully. Eventually, they decided it would be a good idea if they got rid of Gemini 1 and Gemini 2 and had their own purpose-built boat. And that was called Hillingdon Star. And they ran along for many years. Eventually, we were going to have a base in Stockley Park when it was being built. But that never happened. But there was some money set aside, and that money was used to build us a new boat with wheelchair access. And that was called Spirit of Stockley. And so we had three boats then. And then the project manager, who was then being paid by the council, retired. And the council decided they weren't going to refill that position. So we were left without anybody steering the boat, as it were. It was decided what we would do is we'd break away from the council and form our own charity. And that's how the association, as a charity, came into existence. About 15 years ago, maybe a little bit less, there was a problem with another charity who was running two boats. They couldn't afford to run the boats, basically. So I did a deal with them that we could buy the boats off them at a reasonable price. And now we had 5 boats. And we were very, very busy. Same size committee, same size equipment everywhere, but now running 5 boats. It was hard work. When we were refitting Spirit, we got the final floor put down. And the guy who was laying the floor said to me, I own a narrowboat. Blah, blah, blah. He said, could you give me a hand? I've got this problem and that problem. We got friendly and we did some bits of work on his boat. Unfortunately, he became ill and died. And his son didn't want the boat. And I spoke to the son and we got a deal, a very cheap deal, to take the boat over. And we named it after our old treasurer, Reg. And that's how we got 6 boats, and that's how we're running now. So we're desperately looking for volunteers. We're open 3 days a week for volunteers, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the first Sunday in every month. And what we normally do is, depending on the weather, we might do half a day's volunteering and then go boating for a few hours. Maybe go up to Rickmansworth, which is about an hour and a half away. And that's how we work.
So as far as volunteers go, does someone have to have an experience, or can you just take somebody who's maybe semi-retired and wants to do a bit of community work? What sort of people are you after volunteers-wise?
Most of our volunteers are people with very little experience in boating, and they can learn that through us. We can do courses. A lot of our volunteers, because it's during the day, tend to be retired people. They come in all shapes and sizes. We have people here that turn up with no skills whatsoever, apart from maybe making tea or emptying the bins. And we teach them. They can give them a paintbrush, say, paint that, teach them painting, basic carpentry, basic electronics or electrics, anything really, just to keep our boats going.
So through lockdown, people have been stuck at home, maybe thinking, right, I really should do some sort of community work. I want to get out of the house more. This sounds like an ideal thing for someone to come and do outside in the open air by the canal. Lovely surroundings. Come and help out with the Hillingdon Narrowboats.
As I say, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. We don't ask you to come in early. Come in about 10, 10:30, and then go home about 4ish or whatever time you want to leave. That's how we work. We're very lucky. We're a very good, friendly bunch. And there's always tea on the boil, always biscuits available. And as I say, sometimes we just decide, we have enough volunteering for the day, let's just jump on a boat and go up to Ricky.
How's the association funded?
thank God we got Cathy here, because Cathy, who's our chairman, joined us a few years ago. She's been our fundraiser. Without her, I don't think H&A would be able to function very well at all.
Shall we talk to Cathy then to find out how you've managed to do that? So, Cathy, how have you managed to raise this money, and who funds the association?
Well, general funds come in from the hire of the boats, but it's searching around all the time to what's available. Sometimes it's finding a fund and thinking, oh, what could that do? Or it's having an idea, or we've just gone in for one. We used to have schools come out regularly, but they don't have the funding anymore. It's a residential trip. So I've just put in for another grant so we can actually fund the schools to keep being able to take them out. Masons have been a huge support. Different lodges, different amounts. They funded us to have new mattresses for one of the boats. And it's all those little bits mount up. It is all community based. Everything we do is to benefit the community.
So at the moment, how many boats have you got here?
6.
And can regular people hire them out for
They
days?
can hire out Reg, our day boat. They'll get a training before they go out. The other 5 are 70-foot boats. Now, we don't hire them out to anybody unless they have a CCBM, which is Certificate of Community Boat Management, which they can get from here, or they hold an RYA helmsman. The 70-foot boats do not go out to inexperienced boaters. Other hire companies do. We don't. If people want to take the boat out, they've got a family, want a trip out, or school wants a trip out, we provide a skipper if they haven't got a trained person.
And what's the rough cost of hiring the boat out for the day?
£150.
Okay, it's not too bad, is it, actually?
It's
a good day out for £150.
That's the logo. It's affordable boating for the community.
Yeah. Can you wander around and have a look at them?
Yes, of course you can, yes. Class as a proper boat. This is Pisces. This was the war boat. Originally, it would have looked like Lupin down there, just the cabin.
That's nice, isn't it?
Yeah. The scouting groups use them a lot. Schools use them a lot. We do the Duke of Edinburgh here as well, the Gold Award. So we take out one boat and we have normally 5 or 6 youngsters, and that's a fantastic week.
I bet,
it's all about teamwork. They do the cooking, they do the cleaning, they learn to boat, and it's a fantastic, and we can't wait to start that up again actually.
I can see it being a great experience for a group of kids, to come out here
it
and...
is. I mean, the schools we take out, they were 9, 10-year-olds, and they're really tiny, and the other week we took out the beavers. They were 6-year-olds, and I had them steering the boat, and they were fantastic. The thing with when you're teaching a child to steer, they absorb it so quickly, they have nothing to compare it against, and then they just do it. Whereas sometimes when you have an adult, they've got a fixed idea.
Yeah. But it's quite easy to steer a boat, is it? I mean, you do the course.
Yes. Like I said earlier, none of these boats go out to inexperienced boaters. The skipper has to have a certificate of some sort.
So as far as anybody coming to volunteer, the sort of things they could learn...
They could learn to paint a boat, they can learn basic carpentry, basic electrics, engine maintenance, splicing ropes, how to boat, all sorts.
Yeah.
There's always something going on down here.
Lots of skills.
Yes.
And I get the impression there's quite a lot of camaraderie as well.
There is, yes. Anybody's welcome, to be honest, and everybody's got some skill.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's enough, like we have a lady come down, makes us a cup of teas and sometimes brings us cakes while we're working. It's lovely.
Yeah.
It's lovely. We're more than just a hiring narrowboats out. Do you want to go out on a boat?
Yeah. If you've got time.
Yeah.
So I get to go out on a boat. This is great. So with Graham now, who's taking us out on the Canal. This is very exciting. So what's the history of Spirit?
It was a disabled boat, a disabled access boat. Completely different layout on the inside, shed bunks and things. But we've gutted her out, rebuilt from the inside, so it's completely open plan down the front.
Yeah.
Got a disabled access toilet, a wet room in there, and a small toilet and wet room and a kitchen. We use it mainly for short trips, short 4-hour, 6-hour trips.
Yeah.
Anybody can hire her. It's an ideal party boat.
So give us a quick guide of the controls on the boat then.
You Morse control, which you go faster. Push it that way, you go faster. Pull
Yeah.
it backwards, you go backwards.
Okay.
To stop, you go backwards.
Yeah.
Your tiller,
Tiller.
which operates the rudder down there,
Yeah.
that steers the boat. Pull it towards you, you go that way. Push it away from you, you go that way.
Yeah. Then you've got a few dials on the panel here.
Just a rev counter and oil pressure and charging things.
So it's fairly simple, really, isn't
It's
it?
very simple.
It's a diesel engine.
Diesel engine, yeah.
Yeah.
It's got an old lister in it.
And it's listed the usual make. It's a
Yeah,
common make of
yeah.
a canal boat engine, is it?
Yeah.
Lister. Well, I'm going to go on the old tiller here now.
I'll give you 3 instructions.
Three?
To you and in the middle. When I say to you, pull the tiller towards you.
Yeah.
To you, a bit more.
Oh, it's quite slow to respond, isn't it?
A bit more.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it responds about 5 seconds later.
Middle. Now in the middle.
And what's the highway code on the canal? You go to the right, do you,
Yeah,
other boats?
yeah, right.
Yeah. About to hit some ducks, but I guess they get out of the way.
To me a little bit.
To you. Oh, there we go. I'm getting the response time now. It's about 5 seconds to respond.
Back to you again.
Yeah. There's quite a variety of houses, isn't there, as well? You've
Yeah.
got really traditional and then architecturally amazing here coming up. Look at this one.
Morning.
Oh, glass.
Right.
Morning.
Right, we go back into the middle of the water. You always travel in the middle of the water unless there's another boat coming.
Okay.
2 things, deeper in the middle, and you've got less chance of hitting anything. To me.
Are there places where it gets a bit shallow then?
Yeah. Yes. We can train anybody. We're taking
Yeah.
the blind school now.
Blind.
Yeah.
Ah.
Again,
Now that's something.
just 3 simple instructions to me, to you, and in the middle.
Yeah. Wow.
3 little instructions, that's all you need.
Yeah. Quite hypnotic, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's quite mesmerising.
Well, they say once, after you've been on the boat for an hour, you forget what time it is.
Yeah, I can see
After
that.
you've been on the boat for 2 hours, you forget what day it is. After 3 hours, you don't give a damn anymore.
No.
You don't give a damn. Just keep on. And it is so relaxing.
Yeah.
To me, I'm quite happy at going up. I go up to Tesco's and back and say, oh, I'll make it last 3-4 hours.
Yes.
I just enjoy going up and down. It doesn't matter how many times I go up and down.
Yeah.
You look at this bit here, you can be anywhere in the country.
Yeah, it's true. It's amazing when you think what sort of, was it 1700s the canals would have been done by hand?
Yeah.
It's incredible to think about that, isn't it?
In their day, that was HS2.
Yes. Was there much controversy, do you think, in that time?
Oh, there was a lot.
Right, I'm concentrating now. We're coming back into the clubhouse. I'm about to park. Coming over. Am I way off? Where am I going now? Back in here.
The other way. The other way to you.
To me. There we go. Back at base. Some special knot now. This is boatman's knot. Yeah.
You put it on one-handed and take it off one-handed.
Ah,
even if the boats get wet.
yeah.
There you go.
Thank you very much. That's an experience.
Learn how to steer.
Yep. Tick that on my box. Well, a big thanks to Dave, Cathy and Graham from HNA for showing me what the Hillingdon Narrowboats Association does. And for the boat trip, I wasn't expecting that. It must be one of the most idyllic places in the borough to volunteer. You're in the countryside by the canal with tea and cake on the go. If you'd like to volunteer, just visit the website hna.org.uk.